Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, and we are happy to have you with us today. An online trading academy, the sponsor of Investing with Confidence, actually on their 25th year, teaching people just like you how to get started in these financial markets, trading and investing. Actually, local academies, specifically right here in Denver, Colorado, and Bloomington, Minnesota. Congratulations on that. Denver is back in the mix.
Yeah, welcome, Denver.
We are rocking and rolling. And Investing with Confidence is also rocking and rolling. Al, we have, let me introduce you. Al Condickson to the show. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Love doing the show. There is so much going on, Josh. An hour is not nearly enough to cover everything that's going on right now.
I know. I get so excited. Sometimes I forget to introduce you, but guess what, Al? Almost nearing our 500th episode on our podcast.
Yeah,
and we should get some applause for that. Really, that's been since we've been recording.
There we go, yeah.
So for those of you on the podcast, also on our YouTube show, make sure to check that out online. But, Al, we've had, like you said, great opportunities in these markets, big moves. We've seen opportunities up, but also down. Today we're going to talk about a little bit on the S&P 500, oil, gold. Snowflake had some reports coming out this week, the energy sector and the U.S. dollar. But on Friday, Al, the jobs report came out.
Right.
And I would say call it so-so. It looked good, but the market went down.
Right.
So what's your take on that? Why does it really not matter what happens with these different reports and these different analysis from earnings reports and stuff like that? Why does that not matter, and why is it so important to understand supply and demand in the financial markets?
Yeah, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's what there's kind of a push and a pull going on. I always talk about a tug of war in the markets. For a long time it was COVID in the economy, COVID and inflation. Now it's the Russian-Ukrainian situation, and that's kind of the one side of the tug of war. The other side is the economy,
and that's been changing every single day. So you're seeing these moves up big, down the next day. So that's why
huge moves.
Understanding price action is so important.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that jobs report for a minute. The jobs report really was in other times it would have moved the market up, I think, significantly. We had 678 new jobs created, and the forecast was only for 425. But the other part of that jobs report is that wages basically were flat, and they were expected to go up about 0.6%. So that's going to have an impact, I think, on the inflation going forward, because we were always concerned about wage inflation. Actually, unemployment also went down to 3.8. So a lot of things going on in the economy. And as we always say, as long as the market is open, there are opportunities.
And there's a smile on our face.
And a smile on our face. And how the reason we can say that there's always opportunities is that the way we teach our students how to approach the markets and how to approach the opportunities is to teach them about opportunities in different directions. The market goes three different directions, not just up, it goes down. And we've seen that this year. All three indexes, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P, are down.
Yeah.
This I think is maybe the fifth straight week, fourth or fifth straight down week for the Dow.
Almost about close to 10%. I mean, down to 14% at one point.
Right. Yeah. So ask yourself this: do you really believe that every time the market goes down, everyone loses? That's not the case. In fact, a lot of people that are in the market, that are traders, that are investors, that are pros, that are the big institutions, they probably do better in down markets than they do in up markets.
So what do you mean by that? Because a lot of our listeners are probably in long-term holding accounts and just only benefiting as the market goes up. How does that happen in that down market so our listeners know there are opportunities?
Right, and it's learning the strategies. There are strategies that are really more ideal for up markets. There are strategies that are ideal for down markets, and there are some strategies that are ideal for sideways markets, for flat markets. And the way that we approach the education part of this is to, first of all, identify what moves price. Who's moving price? Something is happening to cause the price of something to go up. Something's happening to cause the price of something to go down. It's not it doesn't just happen on its own. It happens because somebody or some group of people with a lot of money are buying to make price go up, or selling to make price go down.
And that's not the public, Al, because I believe the stat is roughly 80 to 90% of actual capital in the markets is institutions, right?
It's controlled by institutions.
So they're moving the markets.
Yeah, they are moving the markets. So if they're controlling 80, 90% of the activity in the markets, and if they want to buy something, they have to find someone willing to sell. And who typically is that? That's the public. So if you're selling, you may be selling into an institutional position where they're buying. And who do you think is going to win on most of those trades?
Well, it's the big money that's going to do that.
It's the big money because, number one, they have tens of millions of dollars that they put into research and data every year, sophisticated equipment that they use. They really know what the true value of something is, whether it's an individual asset or the markets in general. And then that's when they make a decision as to when to get into something. They also know what is overvalued, and that's when they get out. So you can try to figure that out on your own. Typically, if you are trading and you're not following what these institutions are doing, you're guessing, and you're probably, it's more like gambling, and that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people think the market is gambling. Well, it is if you don't have a strategy and you don't know how the market moves. And that's why I'm glad you brought up a little bit earlier about the education part. People can't learn out of YouTube. You can't learn out of a book in the financial markets. You just can't do it because it's a skill that you have to learn. Yep. Well, Online Trading Academy, local here in Denver and also Bloomington, Minnesota, we have local academies. And that's where we train people the skills of trading and investing. So another thing, too, you brought up is the institutions. I'm glad you brought that up because they move the market. Roughly 80 to 90% of the money is institutional order flow, institutional money. So that's why it is so important to understand what they are doing, how they're moving the market, and then how to have a strategy to trade like them. Mm-hmm. And Al, I have a special giveaway today. We have a lot of people right here in Denver, Colorado, and Bloomington, Minnesota, that are looking to get started in the markets. You know, some people have gotten the markets, but just didn't really have a strategy, or maybe looking to enhance their potential in the markets. So I have investing classes that we do local, and these are hands-on classes where we actually talk through how the market works, how institutions move the market, but also how we can trade like them. So I want to give away 20 tickets for callers 1 through 10 right now. You got to call right now. When you do this, you're going to receive 2 tickets plus a quick start kit that actually includes some free stock picks. Call now. Call 888-682-6466. That's 888-682-6466. Also, if you're a texter, just text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, you'll get a text right back. If you want to follow the link and pick your own date, otherwise we'll get you a call and make sure we get set up for that investing class for a date that works for you. Now, coming up next, I want to talk about some individual markets, whether it's the energy market. I'll talk a little bit about gold and the S&P 500 coming up next, so stay tuned for that. 888-682-6466 for 2 tickets. We'll be right back.